right, yeah, this is probably what I wanted. This is what I wanted. Okay, all right. What's good, everybody? Early stream here today just because I've got other work stuff that I've got to do, and it actually makes sense that I make this live stream now at this point, and then I can maybe see if I can get you guys a video talking about everything kind of all condensed of what Nate the Hate had to say. But a massive, huge, gigantic, I mean, like, I went through 3 different iterations of videos. I recorded 3 separate videos this morning and just said, screw it, I'm just gonna live stream because there's so much news coming out of the Nate the Hate podcast. It's almost like impossible to kind of say like what's going on here. It's just crazy. A lot of big stuff, man. So I think it's gonna be really cool. I think there's a lot of interesting things that Nate the Hate said in his podcast. So we're gonna talk about all of that and more. 3D Mario timing, Grand Theft Auto, like Star Fox. Oh my goodness, man! Like Ocarina of Time. It just keeps going. Like this year is like Nate like set it up perfectly. Like it's like yay, yay, yay. Like that was what the podcast was. It was literally yeah, yeah, it's like Nintendo Direct, not till later, not till like maybe May or June. Wait a minute, hold up, new Star Fox, yay. 3D Mario, probably not till next year. But hey, Ocarina of Time remake, yay. It was just like roller coaster of emotions of the podcast. So I'm gonna go over everything, but I highly recommend checking out the full podcast. Like you gotta hear, like I can't emulate what Nate the Hate says because he knows the information firsthand. I can just relay it to you, but you need to like hear it firsthand. You know, you need to like hear it firsthand. So I highly implore all of you guys to check out the Nate the Hate podcast when you get the opportunity. Now, obviously watch what I'm saying here, but this is my reaction. When you get some time later, after I'm done streaming, check out the full podcast. At least like the first, I would say like 40 minutes or so, 45 minutes. Like they get to questions at the very end, but the first 40 minutes is like must hear, must see YouTube awesomeness. So it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy stuff when it comes down to it. When it comes to everything, man. But we're gonna talk about everything here. Let's see here. So leave and listen and come back. No, because it's gonna take you too long. You guys want to get my reaction to all the news, and you guys want to get the news up front. So I'm gonna give you guys what's happening here. So the full breakdown that we're gonna go over. I'm gonna go on to Stealth's podcast or Stealth's thing here. So the full lineup here from Nate the Hate says no General Direct till June 2026. New Star Fox game coming out on the Switch 2 summer 2026. Classic style, visuals are very good. Online multiplayer might be revealed next month. Just random reveal, Nintendo Today app or Twitter. Summer 2026, Splatoon Raiders, Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, Rhythm Heaven Groove, and a Switch Sports. Doesn't know if it's going to be new or just a Switch Sports Switch 2 edition, Nintendo Switch Sports Switch 2 edition. I would guess that maybe they'd have something new at this point, like, but maybe not. I mean, Nintendo Switch Sports is sold like crazy, but that's that. I'm going to break down each individual thing and what I think. Pikmin 4 and Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Switch 2 editions, or no, sorry, not Xenoblade, my bad, just Pikmin 4 Switch 2 edition planned for 2026. Ocarina of Time remake planned for 2026, coming out second half. No 3D Mario in 2026, but it's coming 2027. The Dust Bloods also later 2026. So summer looks to be packed. After Yoshi, Splatoon Raiders, Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, Rhythm Heaven Groove, Nintendo Switch Sports. It's pretty packed summer. Splatoon Raiders and Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave in particular. We'll see about Rhythm Heaven. I want to see how good or not that game is. Yeah, like if we get Splatoon Raiders, Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, Rhythm Heaven Groove, Switch Sports, Pikmin 4, Ocarina of Time Remake, The Dust Bloods. All of that for the second half of this year is pretty freaking good. I like Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. I like Splatoon Raiders. I like, well, I want to like the Dust Bloods. I don't know if I'm going to like it. But Ocarina of Time Remake is massive. Like, it's put up or shut up time for a lot of these classic Zelda fans. They need to buy this. They need to buy this. It's put up or shut up. This is the most Zelda 3D Zelda game of all time is Ocarina of Time. It's the formula that started the 3D Zelda. So it's put up or shut up time for all of these classic Zelda fans that say they need to go back. You either put your money where your mouth is with this Zelda game. I don't care that it's a remake. I don't care that you played it already. Put your money where your mouth is. This better sell like close to Breath of the Wild, or it better be like a very good selling game. It can't be selling like Skyward Sword. So it better sell good. And I better see these Zelda fans coming out, these hardcore, it needs to go back. I need to see them coming out in droves to buy this. I need to see them coming out in droves because this is the most 3D Zelda game of Zelda games of all time. Bland, Hyrule Field, intricate dungeon design. Put up or shut up time, okay? Pay up. Even if it's 80, pay up. No, I'm joking. I wouldn't like it if it was 80. Yak Diesel with the $5 dono. What's up, Yak Diesel? Says, how about Star Fox and Mario movie, eh? Which other Nintendo franchise characters you see making an appearance? I'm not sure. I don't know who else is gonna make an appearance. I don't really speculate on things like that because I don't really care when it comes to that stuff, Yak Diesel. So I haven't even thought about it. Like, that's not even like what I think. I don't even think about stuff like that, especially movies. I'm not a movie person, although I am gonna go see the Mario movie, but I don't even really. I don't know. I'm not sure who can be there. I know that's a boring answer, Yak, but honestly, I don't even speculate. I don't even know. Like, I don't think about movies that way. I'm sorry. Like, if you talk to me about games and speculating like what games we can see, oh, absolutely. I can speculate all day on games, but like cameos and movies and stuff, I have no idea. I do not know about stuff like that. Even if it's pertaining to like Nintendo stuff, I don't know. Hey, what's up, Beat Queen? Welcome, Beat Queen. What's up, sis? Not to mention Grand Blue, Digimon, Final Fantasy Rebirth. Yeah, summer is jam-packed. Summer is jam-packed. Yes, I saw that the PS5 Pro is now $900. That is insane. That is a scam times 2. Yeah, actually in California, if you want a PS5 Pro with a disc drive, it's literally over $1,000. Where depending on what county you live in, sales tax is calculated different. So, I mean, my sales tax is a little bit cheaper than, like, let's just say deep Los Angeles sales tax or Sacramento sales tax or, Bay Area sales tax, right? But if you want a disc drive with the PlayStation 5 Pro, it is legitimately here in California over $1,000. And I would say in most places it's over $1,000. I mean, the lowest sales tax would be like, there's no state sales tax in lots of places. So it would just be the whatever, right? Like the city, or some places don't have state sales tax. So, you might be able to get it cheaper. Like, and I don't know, like, where are the places like Florida or something like that? Places that don't have sales tax. But like in a lot of places that do, it's legitimately over $1,000 with the disc drive. Even without sales tax, it's $980, right? It's $899 plus the what's it called? Plus the disc drive. So let's see here. I don't know what type of currency that is, but it's 20,000 something. I'm not sure what type of currency it is. We need 3D Mario to unite the fandom, says Landon. I think that's the Nintendo Land guy, right? I think right now at this point, 3D Mario is coming. According to Nate the Hate, 3D Mario is definitely coming, but it's going to be 2027 because of Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto is a very big game. Now, Nate doesn't know if Grand Theft Auto is day and date with the Switch 2, but Nate says that Grand Theft Auto is definitely impacting things. So we'll see if it's day and date. MVG doesn't think that Grand Theft Auto is day and date, or doesn't think it's coming. Nate, I think, doesn't know. But Grand Theft Auto obviously could come to the Switch 2. Like I said, if it's day and date, who knows? But with the PlayStation 5 getting this massive price increase, I do think that having Switch 2 version day and date would be good. Because there's going to be some people that obviously aren't going to want to spend $600 for a digital PS5 edition and $650 for a base PS5, and then over $900 for a PS5 Pro at this point. So yeah, it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. Let's see, here in Puerto Rico, this it's 11.5%. Yeah, it's crazy. Do you think the communication shift for Nintendo, where Nate Hate suggests that new Star Fox will likely announce social media rather than big direct? That's not really a new communication shift. They've done that before. They did it with Splatoon Raiders, and Nate also said that there's going to be a direct like in July or something like, or sorry, June. So that's not really a big shift when they've already been doing that. They announced, like I said, they announced Splatoon Raiders at a app and like or on the app and all that. So I don't think there's any big shift because they're gonna he still said in that same event, you're spamming the same question over and over, Ovi. Just calm down. Okay. He said in that same event that they're still gonna have a big Nintendo Direct. So I don't think there's any shift. It's like, if you want to announce it early, then announce it early. You don't have to wait for a Nintendo Direct if you want to announce the game. Like, I think if there's a shift, it's just that Nintendo doesn't always have to announce everything at a Nintendo Direct. They can have announcements outside of Nintendo Direct, which is okay too, you know. But that's also fine. This is the way I bought my PS5 Pro day one. Yeah, I bought my PS5 Pro. I didn't buy it day one, but I bought it before the price increase. Let's see here. What holiday title do you think we'll get this year? Ocarina of Time. It's in the title. So Ocarina of Time Remake seems to be a thing, and that's going to be like the holiday-ish type of title. It also seems like Dust Bloods could be like fall-ish as well. So the Dust Bloods and Ocarina of Time Remake apparently are coming this later in 2025, like second half, probably like fall holiday-ish for those two games. So that's it. Let's see here. Potential Pikmin 4, Switch 2 Edition, and Switch 2 Sports were also mentioned. Yeah, those are much smaller in scale of what we're talking about. Yes, but those were announced those were talked about too. Have you seen the gameplay of Champions, and mostly specifically Blastoise on the screen? Reflections are looking. I haven't really watched too much of it, and no, I didn't really see reflections. I don't really care about that right now. So I didn't really see too much of that Leaf Storm. But yeah, Champions looks good. But we're talking about the situation right here with this stuff. We're not talking about Champions right now. But no, I didn't see too much of it. But I did watch the overview trailer, and it looks cool. So I'll play it when it comes out. Let's see, hella boring answer, places. It's all good. You prefer to stay in your lane. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing with me is like I don't really know movies and like cameos and things like that. So it's like people ask me about the Mario Bros movie, like there's gonna be cameos. I'm like, I don't know, you know. So I'm not really good with stuff like that. So yeah, that's just kind of it there. Thank you for the 20,000 whatever those were. I appreciate it. I'm just gonna say maybe it's like $2. So I'm just gonna say that. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. Do you think Ocarina of Time remake graphic style would be like? Well, it'd be a remake, so it's going to be like the original Ocarina of Time graphical style, but made modern. So they're going to keep the same art style. I don't think they're going to change it. So think Ocarina of Time graphics, but a lot better. Looks like there's going to be rocking the base PS5 for many more years to come. Glad I have my Switch because I can't imagine the only game on PlayStation. I mean, if you have a PlayStation, then it's obviously great for like the third-party games and for some of the first-party stuff. So I think that people that buy, even if you buy a PlayStation with the increased price, you're still gonna get a good experience. A PS5 Pro is a great experience. Like, it's really good. And if you wanted to build a PC that's as good as a PS5 Pro, I mean, you're gonna spend probably more than $1,000 on it. So it's not like it's the worst deal ever. But it's like, it's not great. When it launched at $700 at the end of 2024, in 2025 it was $700 to $750, and they are jumping the price up by $150. Not $50, not $80, not $100, but $150 price increase is absolutely insane for a system. That is wild to me. Like, the PS5 Pro is very good, but it's not that good. I don't think it's worth the warranted of a $900 system. Once again, the only way that I would say that it is, like, if there's anything that I'd say that it is warranted at, is if you only play on PlayStation, you only like PlayStation, and you only want to play games on there. That's the only way that I would say that it's worth $900, is if you only play on there. So if you want the PS5 Pro, go get it now while it's $750, because in a few days it's jumping up $150, which is just, like I said, mind-blowing. Like, I'm pretty sure Nintendo's gonna have a price increase too, but I don't think it's gonna be by $150. I think it might be $50 price increase, which I don't want any price increases for anything though, you know. Shout out to the cool guy with the 12 months as well. Made it to 12 months. Sweet. Glad to be a member for so long. Yes, sir. So yeah. Leafstorm. Yes, I've heard I watched the Nate the Hate podcast. That's what I'm talking about here. So yes, I've heard, and I literally already stated that yes, Star Fox apparently has great graphics and it will have online multiplayer. Yes, those are the things. So yes, I've heard everything that is in the Nate the Hate podcast. Trust me, I've heard it. I watched, and I literally have it up. I have all the information up right here. I have Stealth's thing right here with that, and I have the Nate the Hate podcast here. So I watched all the way through till they got to the questions part. So I'm very well aware of everything Nate the Hate has said. So you can ask me questions on what I think about it. Not, have you heard about something from the podcast? Trust me, I've heard about it. So if you want to ask a question, ask me a question about what you think about this. Because trust me, I've heard about everything. Okay, so that's why I did this live stream here. Okay. So no need to waste questions on have you heard about something that he said. Trust me, I heard about everything. So ask me some questions like, what do you think about it? You know, I only say this because the games I'm going to be playing on my PS5 this year are Crimson Desert, Wolverine, and GTA 6. Yeah. So it's worth it if you are a super Sony boy. Yes, it's worth it if you're really big into third party and Sony. Yes. Now, if you play Switch or if you play Xbox or if you play PC, it's not worth buying it for. Like, if you don't have one, it's not worth buying one for if you split your time, because time is everything when it comes down to it. If you spend money on something and you don't actually play it, or if you split time, you spend your time on other things, it's not as valuable as something that you spend a lot of time on. So if you're someone that's going to be playing PC, Xbox, and Switch 2, a PS5 Pro is not worth it. Now, if you're someone who's going to be playing a lot of PlayStation 5, then it's worth it. If that's what you like, or that's what you want to have your primary platform, then it's worth the $900. But if it's not, if you split time, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Let's see, Justin with the $3 dono. Let's go, Justin.
I feel like me going with Switch 2 only was a good investment. Also, what's up? I'm busy working.
Yeah, so let me run down everything for the new people here, for those that just got here. Let me run down everything. So Nate the Hate had a huge podcast, and here are the things for 2026, what he's heard. Now, it's not everything, but here's what he heard. No general direct till about June or so. Maybe it might be earlier, but probably June. New Star Fox game coming with great visuals, classic style, and online multiplayer, and that could be revealed as early as next month. Summer 2026 for the Switch 2 is looking spicy. Splatoon Raiders, Fire Emblem. Oh, and he also says that Star Fox is coming. It's coming summer. It's coming summer as well. But also other games for summer. Splatoon Raiders, Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, Rhythm Heaven Groove, Nintendo Switch Sports. Not sure if it's going to be a Switch port or a new game. Pikmin 4 Switch 2 Edition planned for 2026. Ocarina of Time Remake planned for the second half of 2026. No 3D Mario in 2026, but it's coming 2027. The Dust Bloods coming later in 2026. So, stacked. In my opinion, that is stacked. I mean, you've got Star Fox, Splatoon Raiders, Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, Rhythm Heaven Groove, new Switch Sports or Switch Sports game, Pikmin 4 Switch 2 Edition, Ocarina of Time Remake, and the Dust Bloods. So that is 8 games, not including third party, but 8 published Nintendo first party games, and maybe other stuff that we don't know about. That's all coming in 2026. Now, and obviously 3D Mario next year, but that's 8 titles. We're already in April pretty much. So April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So 9 months, 8 titles. And of course, that doesn't include what we're already getting, like Tomodachi Life and Yoshi. So that would be 10 titles for the rest of the year that we're getting. Like I said, there might be some other stuff that obviously he doesn't know about. Third party wise, Nate also went over different things. We should get Elden Ring. That should be announced sometime soon. Resident Evil 2, 3, and 4 Remake. Devil May Cry 5 Devil Hunter Edition. Doc Trey 81 first spotted that, but Nate the Hate recorded that podcast, I think, before Doc Trey 81's video, so Nate the Hate knew about it. So Devil May Cry is coming. Apparently Monster Hunter Wilds is coming from Capcom, And there's going to be some other games as well. Third-party wise, there's other games that Nate the Hate hinted at. Like a lot of third-party games that are coming throughout. On top of what we already know. So it's crazy. Says, let's see, that Steam box is not going to be cheap. No, it's probably not going to be cheap. Jeffrey says, I think it's the Xeno Switch 2 edition. I saw Xeno Switch 2 edition on one page, but then when Stealth also put it here, he didn't put Xeno Switch 2 edition. So yes, also maybe Xeno Switch 2 edition coming, which would be really good and which would obviously be better than everything else. If there was a Xeno Switch 2 edition, that would be better than everything else. But yes, Xeno Switch 2 edition, but I don't see it in the roundup here that Stealth has, but I did see it somewhere. But we'll see. We will see. Let's see. If I were a grifter, I'd say no more General Directs, ports galore, no 3D Mario, Nintendo sucks, booty cheeks. That's what a grifter would say. Yeah, that's what a grifter would say. This is, I don't trust Nate at all. Let me ask you a question, Jeffrey Tucker. Who's the person that gave us the information on when the Switch 2 was going to be announced? The first Switch 2 trailer that dropped, who was the guy that told us about that? Let me know. Let's see here. I need Xeno Switch 2 edition. I don't like the PS5 increase, but it's a wake-up call for extremist ponies. Okay. Still can't get a new Steam Deck in the US. Almost certainly that's getting a price hike whenever that comes back. Let's see. Stealth had it at first, but then removed it. Yeah, I'm not sure. Did Nate actually say, I think he said that in his podcast, but I was just blown away like the Star Fox situation. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just blown away by this, like the Star Fox thing, you know? So yeah, that was crazy. Nate said that the new Star Fox Classic style, does that mean you want it to be a pure rail shooter like Star Fox 64, or should it be some type of adventure elements like Star Fox? It's classic, so it doesn't matter what I want. We just got to talk about what he says. So I think a classic Star Fox makes sense. Listen, if you didn't grow up with Star Fox, you don't know what the style of Star Fox is. To me, Star Fox is about, and I'll get that dono in just a bit. Star Fox is about incredible graphics, okay? So, okay, Daytona, USA, all right. So, Star Fox is about incredible graphics and tightly controlled, interesting gameplay in a rail shooter type of way. Now, the multiplayer will let you fly around and, you know, play it however you want, because you can't have a rail shooter multiplayer game, or if there's co-op, but there seems like there is going to be multiplayer. But to me, Star Fox is about tightly controlled gameplay, rail shooter with great graphics. Star Fox on the Super Nintendo and Star Fox on the 64, that's what those were. And those games were incredible because they had great replay value. Well, Star Fox 64 had great replay value. Super Nintendo, I mean, kind of, like, you can go different paths. So if Nintendo can make a great game with a bunch of different paths, different vehicles, different online multiplayer, they can create a Star Fox game that is incredible. Like, when people say rail shooters, oh, rail shooter, no. Star Fox, that's what it's about. You can make incredible visuals, great gameplay, and it's no different from playing like a 2D platformer and going to the right. I mean, yeah, you can go to the left in a 2D platformer, but for the most part, you're going to be going up, down, or straight in a 2D platformer on a rail, like to the right. And that's fine. Star Fox is you're going into the screen and you're either going left, right, up, or down and dodging things, or you're having like separate paths and separate ways that you can fight or that you can do things. And once again, if they have tons of paths, tons of story options, multiplayer, they can make a fully featured game that will feel great to play. And like I said, the visuals are apparently, the good thing about it is that with a rail shooter, you can make the visuals incredible. So this should apparently look really good according to Nate. Shout outs to my man Titan, Koopa Troopa with the $5 dono says, where are the Sony ponies now proclaiming Nintendo is greedy? They're not, because once again, Sony ponies and fanboys are morons and grifters. A lot of them are idiots. So they're not going to proclaim all that type of stuff. They're not going to. So yes, new Star Fox. New Star Fox. Sony dropped the price. So sorry, I meant okay, yeah. Drop the price. Even though it says classic, it could mean new mission structures or more style adventure style sections. I hope that's more because it's on-rail shooter is not enough in today. Like I said, that's what people say, that it's not enough in today, but we've never gotten an on-rail shooter that's modern in today's day. all we've gotten is Star Fox Zero. And Star Fox Zero, once again, it didn't have a big enough technological leap to justify it just being what it was. So in my opinion, what we need to do is that we need to wait and see what it actually is and how in-depth it is, because you can build a rail shooter that has elaborate level design. It doesn't have to be where you're running around in adventure sections, because Star Fox Assault has that, and it's not better than Star Fox 64. Does anybody here think Star Fox Assault is better than Star Fox 64? Let's just be real with you. Does anybody actually think Star Fox Assault is better than Star Fox 64? It's not. Most people, most Star Fox fans do not think Star Fox Assault is better than Star Fox 64. So in my opinion, sure, if they can add some new gameplay elements, other sections where it's evolved, there's maybe you can move around a bit more, sure. If it's better, if it's good, that's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say. But they can make an elaborate, big, multi-tiered rail shooter where you can go off into different sections. You can have all range moments. You can do all sorts of stuff. Star Fox 64 had all range moments where it wasn't a rail shooter, like the Independence Day section where you fight Star Wolf. That was not a rail shooter. So they've already experimented with stuff like that. So yes, sure, they can have that. But what I'm trying to say is that the game needs to be good. It needs to be technologically impressive, and it needs to be good, more so than I can't play a rail shooter. That's not impressive. Star Fox 64 is more impressive than any Star Fox game that's not a rail shooter. It's better than Star Fox Adventures. It's better than Star Fox Assault. Star Fox 64 is still the gold standard for Star Fox, and that's a rail shooter, So that's my opinion on it. Make it good, like Star Fox 64. We got shoehorned in Assault set. I mean, like I said, Star Fox Assault isn't bad, and it's got some really cool things, like with the, going off, and the gun parts and, moving around. That's fine. And they can do a good version of that in today's day. I get that. But you don't want to lose the essence of what Star Fox is. And I think that's what happened with Star Fox Assault. People didn't care. The people that bought the N64 that also bought the GameCube, when Star Fox Assault, they were like, well, that's not really like Star Fox too much. I mean, it is like Star Fox, but it's really not like Star Fox, So people didn't pay up, man. They didn't buy it. So you've got to be careful with stuff like that, We've seen the potential of what Star Fox can be based off the fight mechanics and the Age of Imprisonment. The proof is already there. Plus, it's amazing. And if you've played Age of Imprisonment, those Star Fox sections, and it's a really ghetto version of Star Fox, by the way. It's not even like it's a great Star Fox. It's a okay Star Fox, but it's very fun because it's obviously not the main mechanic. But Star Fox 64 obviously is, better. But yeah, we've seen the potential. Those levels were super fun, and those were just move around, go this, go like, they could evolve it, like where you actually like zoom off to the left, like a different section, and it becomes all range. You fight all range, and then okay, now you go underground, and you do have some parts where you can move around on your own, and like you have like secrets and stuff to get. They can make it to where you go back to your ship, and then like you do, or your ship, and then like, you do more on rail sections. Like there's a lot of ways to do this, or even like I know like what was it? Kid Icarus Uprising was half on rails, half adventure. And the on-rail sections were really good in Kid Icarus Uprising. They were far more fun to play at times, not all the time, but at times than the actual on-foot sections. Star Fox Assault, it did and it didn't have amazing graphics. And let me give you guys the attitude at the time. At the time that it came out, Assault's graphics, they were good, but there was something off about it. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't seen as like, oh my gosh, these graphics are the true cutting edge successor to the N64. There was something with the vibe of the graphics. Now, don't get me wrong, if you play it on an emulator, it looks spectacular. But there was just something with the art, something with that game that didn't make it feel like, oh, this was the true next-gen Star Fox 64. I don't know. I can't quite put my finger on it. There's just something with it that doesn't feel like the tone or the vibe of Star Fox 64. So if they can recapture the tone and the vibe graphically, a bit more gritty, a bit more, grounded, Assault seems a bit light. Star Fox 64 seems a bit gritty or grounded. So I want them to kind of go with that look. And Star Fox on the Super Nintendo was like light, but also a bit gritty too, because of obviously like the graphics and how it looked back then in like the early 90s. So that's the thing that I would say with that. I want them to go with the tone of Star Fox 64, you know? Shout outs to is it Rabnad? Thank you for the subscription. I appreciate that. Let's go. Let's see. What about Star Fox Assault versus Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2? Which would you say was better? I didn't really play too much of Rogue Squadron 2, so I don't really know. I think most people would say Rogue Squadron's better. What's up, Nick93? Welcome. Let's see. There we go. We just opened Twitter and my feed is full of sad Mario render. There you go. Sad Mario render. Hey, look. When Mario finally does drop, it's going to be incredible. Don't get me wrong. But I'm excited for Star Fox coming back. I'm excited for Xenoblade. I'm excited for Ocarina of Time Remake. I'm excited for Fire Emblem. I'm excited for all of that. I mean, if they move it, or if they... I mean, Nate said that look, like he said that they're polishing the game, but he also said it's a possibility that they maybe even move it a little bit because of GTA, you know? So there's also that. Nate mentioned that there's a Star Fox Online multiplayer. What modes would you want to see? Classic dogfights or co-op campaign? I mean, give me both, man. Give me both. Give me classic co-op campaign. Give me all of that. I want both. So yeah. Let's see here. Star Fox Assault began as a different game, Dinosaur Planet. No, Star Fox Assault didn't begin as Dinosaur Planet. That was Star Fox Adventures. That began as Dinosaur Planet, and then they turned that into Star Fox Adventures. Star Fox Assault was a separate game that Bandai Namco made, so not quite. I think it was Rare with the Dinosaur Adventure thingy, and then it turned into Star Fox Adventures. So you got your GameCube Star Fox games mixed up. Let's see here. I think Nintendo's going to jump the price by 50 or 100. We'll see. We have to wait and see for it. So we'll see. But you have to remember, OJ, PS6 is going to be priced at 600. Yeah, like, I don't know how they price it at 600 when you have a $900 PS5 Pro. That, like I said, then the PS5 Pro is the biggest scam in the history of scams. In 2 or 3 years... or in 2 years, if they come out with a PS6 that's $600, the PS5 Pro is the biggest scam ever. It literally is. Adrian Lobo, thank you for the subscription, man. I appreciate that. Let's see. I was just talking to my boy about how I wanted to pick up the Pro, and then Sony goes and pulls this BS. GameStop doing trade-ins for $400 for the base PS5, so I'll cover the balance. Yeah, go ahead and trade it in now and get the PS5 Pro if you want it. Apparently, Xenoblade 2 is coming, Switch 2 edition. But there's, I think I remember he said something about that in his podcast. But yeah, Xenoblade 2 and Pikmin 4. Let's see here. By the way, did Nate the Hate say who would be making the Star Fox game? No, he did not say who's making it. I'm guessing Nintendo's handling it internally, but we'll see. We'll see who's making it. I don't know. I don't know who's making it. But apparently it's got really good graphics and it's got online multiplayer. It's got online multiplayer, so yeah. Yeah, and I think that the thing about it, and I've seen people on Twitter say the same thing, like the thing what made Star Fox great was because it was always to kind of show like the technological capabilities of the system. But we'll see, like I said. We will see what's happening. We'll see what's happening with the game when they finally reveal the game. So I missed the beginning of the stream. What did Nate say? Oh gosh. I wish some of you guys would actually just rewind the stream instead of making me. All right, I'll say it again. So here's everything that Nate the Hate said for those that are just joining. Okay, I guess I'll be nice. I'll be nice, Rags, and I will reiterate everything. Again, I guess I have to do it because obviously it's a live stream. So, no general direct until June or so of 2026. New Star Fox game coming in next summer on the Switch 2. Classic style, visuals very good. Online multiplayer might be revealed within the next month. Summer 2026. Splatoon Raiders, Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, Rhythm Heaven Groove, and a new Nintendo Switch Sports. Pikmin 4, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Yeah, Pikmin 4 and Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Okay, it's on my page now. What the heck? Can I not? Am I stupid? Can I not read? Pikmin 4 and Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Switch 2 editions planned for 2026. So there you go. I could have swore it wasn't there just a second ago. Now, I don't think I refreshed my page. So I don't know what happened with this stealth. I could have swore it just said Pikmin 4. And then now it says Pikmin 4 and Xenoblade 2. And I did not refresh the post. Anyway, Pikmin 4 and Xenoblade 2 Switch 2 editions planned for 2026. Ocarina of Time remake planned for 2026 as well, the second half. No 3D Mario until 2027, but it's coming. Maybe you can pin, I can't pin all that on stream actually. There's not enough characters, so I can't pin all of it. But actually wait, oh okay, no, I know what you're saying. Okay, here we go. I think I can make this. I can do this. Yeah, I can make a okay, I see what you're saying, what I can do. Okay, what I can do is I can actually put up an image, but I always forget how to, okay, I always kind of like do this very slowly, just because it's weird. Okay, so I think I can do this. Okay, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. All right, so here we go. All right, there we go. I don't know where would be best would be to put it. Okay, maybe like right here. So yeah, that's kind of like what we're looking at right here. That's what we're looking at right there. Okay, that looks good. Chrono Rig with the $2 dono says, "What's a PS5 level handheld a PS5 level handheld cost?" At this point, I don't think the PS5 handheld is a feasible device to release. I honestly don't think it is, because as a smaller device, you actually have to spend more. It's more expensive to make a device that's less powerful than the PS5, right? At this point, a lot of the handheld PCs are less powerful than PS5, but cost way more. So I do not think it's feasible to release a PS5 handheld for anything under $600 to $700, and I think 600 is even like pushing it. I don't think that's even feasible. Like I said, the system would have to cost somewhere between $600 and $700, maybe even more, for something that can play PS4, PS5 games, and potentially even some PS6 games. Like, I mean, that's a unicorn device that would cost way more than $500, you know. So yeah. Nate didn't say any Xenoblade game in specific though. Did he just say Xenoblade? Okay. Pikmin 4 Switch 2 edition basically guarantees 4K 60, right? There's no way they'd bump up to max res. It'd probably be like a 4K 60 unless they had like something wrong like with the animations, like Animal Crossing, where that was 4K 30. So the only reason why I say that it wouldn't be 4K 60 would be because of the animations or something in the code where they couldn't get it to 60 FPS. I mean, that's an Unreal Engine 4 game, so you never know, you know, with those games. Let's see here. No direct till June. How's Nintendo gonna hype Fire Emblem and Rhythm Heaven without one? Well, those would be in the June direct. Those games wouldn't come out before June, so you could easily just make a new trailer for those games in June. Ovi. Let's see. What's up, Dawson? Welcome. Let's hear. Whatever happened to Kirby Planet Robobot remake? I'm not sure. That could be like another thing. I don't think it was a remake. I think it was like a remaster of the game. So we'll see if that ever comes out again, or if Nate talks about that. So I'm not sure. Yo, Jermaine, thank you for the subscription, man. I appreciate that. Let's see here. I guarantee no one will bash Sony for increasing the PS6. I mean, they're getting bashed, but like, I think this is going to be a big hit to Sony's sales, man. I don't think they're going to be able to keep up the sales momentum with this. If I'm Nintendo, I hold steady and I eat the cost, man. I hold steady and I eat the cost, and I see how sales dictate within this. I don't raise the price if I'm Nintendo right now. Wait to raise the price. Do whatever you can. Push people more towards digital. Have another $80 game or two. Do whatever you can to not... At this point, I'd rather them not raise the price of the system and raise the price of other things. Raise the price of controllers or other things, but do not raise the price of the system, in my opinion. Like, hold steady at where you're at. Let's see here. Isn't Xbox ROG Ally PS5 level? That's 1,000. Yeah, that's about PS5 level. I think it's like a little bit underneath PS5 level, or it's like right around there, a little bit underneath. And I think that is $1,000 for that. But like the $600 ROG Ally is not close to the PS5. It's definitely underneath the PS5, and that's $600. That costs as much as a PS5 digital. Let's see. Hold the line. So I just finished the podcast. He didn't say Star Fox was a Switch 2 game. He didn't mention multiplayer either. That I don't know if you have. He absolutely mentioned that Star Fox was a Switch 2 game, and he absolutely mentioned that it has good graphics, and he absolutely mentioned that it had online multiplayer. So, Superpower Man, I don't know what you're talking about, but that is a flat out lie. Everything you said was not true. Like, he said the exact opposite of everything you just said. Like, the exact opposite. Like, everything you just said was the opposite, okay? He 100% said that it's a Switch 2 game. He 100% said that there's online multiplayer. And he 100% said that it's coming in summer of 2026. These are things that I 1000% know that he said. It's right here on my screen. Stealth recapped it. It's right here on my screen. So I have no idea what you're talking about, brother. I have no idea what you're talking about. So I don't know if that was a joke or that was your attempt at humor, but that is a lie. That is a flat out lie. So that is just like a flat out lie. That's not true, Superpower Man. He did say that. Unless I'm dreaming right now. This could be a very lucid and elaborate dream. So, oof. I don't think I'm dreaming. I just pinched myself and I felt it. So no. But I appreciate, I mean, I'd love to hear you tell me where he said that, like where you saw that I would love to hear you say, like, tell me where, because that just seems crazy that you would come to my stream and tell me that. Would you rather have them raise the price of the games to 90 or the console? No, raise the price of the console. I think 90 becomes to the point to where it's like, okay, that's just not feasible. So no, I would rather have them just raise the price by 50 if that's the case. So. What's up, Mascot? To be fair, Nate didn't say anything about Xeno 2. Stealth has it in his post. Okay, so maybe that Xeno 2. Okay, but Slash, it's not to be fair. Like, we were talking about Star Wars. That's a whole different thing, Slash boys. So that's different. So it's not. There's not to be fair. He said Superman just said that Nate didn't say anything about Star Fox. We're not talking about Xeno. We're talking about Star Fox. I listened to the podcast, and he 100% said Star Fox is coming, and that it's going to have online multiplayer, and that it's going to have good graphics. That's something that he 100% said. Nate didn't mention Xeno will switch to edition this year, but he only speculated they might do one in that vein. Okay, got you. So he speculated that we could have Xeno. That's what I thought. Let's see. Worried about price. Nate said that such a Star Fox price 80. Nate never said that Star Fox was going to be priced 80 or anything like that. And like I said, guys, let's just wait and see. We don't have to bring up, is this going to be 80? Is this going to be, just wait and see. Just wait and see. Let's just wait. When they announce the price, then we can talk about it. But like every single game that pops up, is it going to be 80? Is it going to be 80? Just wait on that, okay? There's one $80 game. That's all we know about, okay? And until further notice, then we'll talk about the other ones. But for right now, most of them are 70. So let's just assume that they're 70 until they're not. And we'll wait. I've already made a video where I talked about it, Obi. Go watch my video. I talked about what games I think could be that. So if you want to speculate and say, oh my God, I'm worried about this or that, about what games, it's all there. 3D Mario, Zelda, Smash Brothers, games like that. Star Fox is not in that category. So no, I don't think so. But like I said, let's just wait and see. We don't need to speculate on every single thing coming up. We've already talked about it. We've already speculated enough on it. There's no point. All right, Party Man with the $5 dono. Let's go.
Been here chilling on my lunch break. No
Yes, sir.
3D Mario this year is a bit sad.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I really like that lineup if true.
Yes,
You may also
if true.
get some surprises not mentioned.
Yes,
New
there.
Star Fox would be insane with Switch 2 graphics, and same with Wu-T Remake.
Yeah. We got a new 3D Mario. Obviously next year, it's fine. But whenever it comes. It's gonna be incredible. People are gonna be happy when it comes out. Sad that it's not this year. Whatever. when it comes out, essentially, you know? I wonder who's developing the Ocarina of Time remake and the next Star Fox game. My guess is one of those games will be made by Monolith Soft. I don't know. We'll see. Nate, we will see. No, you got those prices wrong. It's not $850 for the Pro, at least not here in America. It's $900 for the Pro. It's $899, not $850. So no, you're off by $50. So yeah, the most shocking thing to me is seeing that Splatoon is slated for this summer. We see nothing or had no updates since last year. Nintendo must be cooking. I mean, that's pretty common though for Nintendo. There's been times where they show us nothing on a game, then all of a sudden randomly it pops up. It's reusing the same engine, it's reusing the same assets, so that's not a surprise to me. And it looked pretty competent when they did show it. So yeah, that makes sense. I mean, and really there was no reason to show it. Show it when it's closer to be ready to go. So it probably like at a direct or something like that. So that's actually not too surprising to me. Yeah, I can see your comments, Mr. Davis. What's good, man? Don't mind the price of the games. I only purchase games I really want to play. Others buy used or sale through subscription. That's true. You can do that. That's true. I hope Star Fox gets the Zelda treatment and the series gets completely revamped. Apparently, it's going to be a revamp, so we'll see. But it's going to be classic style, though. But it's going to have really good graphics and online multiplayer. So that's apparently what the game is going to be. This freaking Jurassic Park music, bro. Like, freaking Simeon Coin. Freaking Simeon Coin, man. This party man with no Mario, let's go. Dude, I think this new Mario game is going to be incredible, though. They might show the new Mario game this year. I would not be surprised if the new Mario game is shown this year and says 2027. So maybe at a direct in the fall, or maybe they even show the Mario game at this upcoming direct and say 2027, Mario's coming, you know? So that's also a possibility. Let's see here. I can see your comments, Mr. Davis. What's good, man? Welcome. Given that Nate has heard along with ATB, I feel like another partner showcase might be coming next month. There could be another partner showcase that has like Resident Evil and Elden Ring and games like that. Ocarina of Time remake could be Grezzo. It could be Grezzo. That seems like the most likely scenario for Nintendo at this point. By the way, I don't know if you said this, but also VGC also corroborated Nate's statements about Ocarina of Time remake and Star Fox. I mean, obviously, Nate the Hate is the truth. So, no games just got yeeted. The whole no games thing was never an actual real, was never actually like a real thing. Switch 2 has released more first-party games in a shorter period of time than any other system on the market. So, who's releasing more first-party games and more notable games than Nintendo? I mean, not really anybody, right? Like, if you look at, like, you compare, I mean, maybe Microsoft, maybe them, but when it comes to first-party releases, Nintendo's been releasing more first-party games more consistently than anybody else, so. More exclusives, you know? Bandai Namco and Game Freak would be a good team for Star Fox. Kid, I see vibes, especially multiplayer. Bandai Namco and Game Freak. I don't think so. I think Game Freak has their hands full with Pokemon Winds and Waves, so I don't think that would be a good fit right now. And I think Bandai Namco, maybe, yes. They've worked on Star Fox before, so definitely Bandai Namco could be involved, for sure. But Game Freak, that doesn't really make any sense. I don't know when they would have been developing it, because they've been developing Pokemon Winds and Waves for the last 4 years plus. And they've also been helping out in terms of a small splinter team and outsourced the Beast of Reincarnation game. Plus we had Pokemon Legends ZA. That was in 2025. So I don't see where they would have helped out with this Star Fox game. I don't see where, you know? Based off of what we know that they've been working on for like the last, let's just say this game had a 4-year development period, where would Game Freak come into play? They've been helping out with, or they've been directing Beast of Reincarnation for the past 6 years. In the last 4 years, they've had Pokemon Legends Arceus, Pokemon Legends ZA, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and now Pokemon Winds and Waves. I don't see where Game Freak comes into play. Let's see. OG at $450. The Switch 2 is now the most affordable system, but of course no one will admit that because of course people love to bash Nintendo for being too expensive. I mean, I think the grifters are gonna have a very hard time actually saying, you know, they're gonna find ways to scoot around that. But once again, the people that know the truth, we're seeing what's actually happening. You go to your local stores, the Switch 2 is being sold. It's being sold at a higher volume. You go to, you go to Twitter, more and more people are buying Switch 2, are asking about the system. I said this once and I'll say it before. This is why I know what I'm talking about. Then I will be wrong. And, shout outs to, I said I'll admit when I'm wrong. Shout outs to VC. I know he hates my guts, but shout outs to him. He was definitely correct about the Mario situation and Zelda. And I mean, he didn't know about Star Fox, obviously, but and I was wrong on that. I thought Nintendo could have a Mario game this year, but it seems like GTA and, of course, Nintendo wanting to have polish on the Mario game, it'll be for 2027 for the Mario game. So I was wrong about that, for sure. Was wrong about that. But what I was right about when it comes to it is that people are going to buy the Switch 2 because of the exclusive software. People are going to buy the Switch 2 because of the exclusive software. It's going to do well. They're going to have Mario. They're going to have Zelda. They're going to have Pokemon. They're going to have Animal Crossing. And they're going to have the biggest franchises, or some of the biggest franchises, to sell the system at a price that will be decent in comparison to what Microsoft and Sony are going to do in the future. One of the videos that I felt was a little bit premature was Did You Know Gaming's video on Switch 2, basically calling Nintendo the greediest company ever. And they had no shots because I love Did You Know Gaming, but they had the audacity, even after Sony has already raised the price of the Xbox or of the PlayStation. They already raised it in a couple different areas. They had the audacity to sit there and say, oh, well, look at the prices now. The Switch 2, people aren't going to want to buy it because of the Steam Deck and because of all these other systems that are cheaper. That whole slate that they talked about is already outdated. Like, it's insanely out. It's been about it's not even been a year since their video, and it's insanely outdated. And the funny thing is that it's not like, oh, well, we didn't know. No, we did know. Because Microsoft had already raised the price of stuff, or said, hey, we're raising the price of things, So we did, and Sony had also raised the price of things. So we did know, and we did know that it could go up in the future. That was already thing, and they were like, oh, well, who cares? Look at the current prices, as if that's not gonna change, as if that wouldn't change. So that's already insanely outdated. Like, insanely outdated, Like, it's like $100 plus outdated. The Steam Deck, they put the regular Steam Deck on there. The Steam Deck is not, there is no regular Steam Deck. You can't even buy some of the systems that they talked about. There is no regular Steam Deck. The $300 Xbox Series S is now $400. The $400 PS5 is now, which you can still get that PS5 for cheaper right now at this point. We'll see what happens after the price jump. But now it's $600 to $1,000 with the disc drive with the PS5 Pro. So that's the only thing that I was like, this is not gonna age well. That's what I was like, this is not gonna age well. This is not gonna age well at all. Partner with another $5 donut. Let's go.
Something to note if all true. 3D Mario and Gen 10 Pokemon for 2027 is such a massive power move. Those two games alone will get people to run out and buy a Switch 2.
That will be...
Can you play Mario Galaxy 2 Sky Station theme?
That will be when the Switch 2 sales kind of like really, truly explode, will be 2027. Because yeah, 3D Mario and Pokemon is massive. Mario Galaxy... Galaxy 2 Sky Station. Okay. Thank you for the $5, Party Man. You are now the Hokage and Stream Ninja with the $10 total. I appreciate that, Party Man. Thank you for your support, brother. Even on your lunch break, out here supporting the PlayerEssence. Speaking of Steam, what's the latest news on the Steam machine? Valve might be cooked. PC handhelds, PC stuff is cooked right now. They're all cooked. Everybody's cooked, but Valve is definitely cooked. They're still coming, though. They're still coming, but they're going to be pricier than maybe what some people were expecting. Because, even right now, the PS5 is expensive, so. It's just the base. Thinks $4 million is success for a console. What are you talking about? I felt like Starlink team from Ubisoft would have been good fit, to be honest, OJ. Or assist in development. Yeah, I don't know if that Starlink team is even a thing anymore, to be honest. But yeah, that would have not been bad. Shout out to David V. Thank you for the 25 months of joining tier pledge. I appreciate that. Let's go. Thank you guys for the combos too. 32 on the combo breaker board. Let's go. Appreciate the support, guys. Let's see here. Oh, if Nintendo about to be getting evicted. I think Nintendo said we're not going to see a Mario game for the next 3 to 5 years. So just another guy that has no idea what he's talking about. Thinks just because he played Mario 64 when he was 3, thinks that he knows Nintendo. Fake analyst, fake, fake, fake analyst, fake sales news, fake channel, fake everything. Just a complete fraud. If you want to be completely honest here, just a complete fraud. But hey, it is what it is. I've sullied his good name according to some people, according to his fans and weird slop tubers, AI slop tubers on YouTube. Let's see here. Treasure's the only team I would want touching Star Fox. Treasure's the only team. Wait a minute, Superpower Man. I need you to address what you said in here when you first came in. I need you to address that. You can't just say, oh, well, the only team that I want touching Star Fox. Treasure didn't make Star Fox. So we don't got to sit there and say, like, they didn't make Star Fox. So, no. Let me just put that out there. They did not create Star Fox. That doesn't mean they're the only ones that should get Star Fox. Star Fox on the Super Nintendo was not made by Treasure. Star Fox on the 64 was not made by Treasure. So, okay, so hold up. Time out there. But second, I need you to address you saying that you watched the podcast and there was no Star Fox, and because you're telling me that I'm lying. So I need you to address that first. Before you say anything else, you said that there was no Star Fox. So I need you to address that. That's what I need you to first say that. So tell me what was happening there, because you have said nothing since then, unless I missed it. Did I miss it? But I need you to address that. I need you to address that because you came in here saying that you watched the whole podcast and that I'm lying. That's what you said. That's essentially what you just said. So I need you to, I really need you to address that. Oh, man. Hold on. Let me see if I can.
I do want to talk about the Switch summer lineup.
Okay, so let's hear what Nate said. You already addressed it? What did you say? You addressed it? What did you say? Okay, my bad. I missed it. Let me see. What did you say? I already I see 3 different comments from you. Okay, if you addressed it, let's see, Rail Shooter Star Fox again sounds so disappointing. 30 years and they've learned nothing. We have not seen the game, Ayers, so I'm not sure how you're. One, I don't know how you're disappointed. We haven't seen the game. 2, saying that they've learned nothing. That makes 0 sense. You have not seen the game. You do not know the elements of the game. You don't know anything about it. So that's just a weird statement. When it comes down to it, you don't know what they're doing with the game and how they're evolving the formula. So to sit there and say 30 years, it's so disappointing. 30 years, they learn nothing. That's an idiotic statement. No offense, but it's idiotic. You have not seen the game. They just said classic. So the classic formula, but there's going to be a bunch of new things. There's going to be online multiplayer. There was no online multiplayer 30 years ago with Star Fox. So that's a silly statement. Okay, so let's listen in
and
here.
What games we will be seeing from Nintendo over those summer.
I love Star Fox.
Okay.
Talking about a brand new Star Fox game.
No way. Are you serious?
So, Superpower Man, you told me that he didn't say there's a brand new Star Fox game. That's what you came in here and told me that. What did we just hear? That was Nate talking on the podcast right now. I'm going to replay that for you.
I do want to talk about the Switch summer lineup and what games we will be seeing from Nintendo over those summer months. Because, based on what I'm hearing, it's going to surprise. In a good way.
Okay. Let's see what you got. I'm excited.
Oh, I'm excited too. Because the game that looks to be kicking off the Nintendo Switch 2 summer of 2026 is from a franchise we haven't seen in a while. A franchise that was iconic, revolutionized gaming when it came out on the Super Nintendo. A first of its kind. I'm talking about a brand new Star Fox game.
No way. Are you serious? Star Fox is coming back?
Star Fox is coming back.
Players just want to make a bet on my original. Okay, I'm going to scroll back up on the original message. Okay. Hold up. Let me okay, am I stupid? He didn't say Star Fox was a Switch 2 game. He didn't mention multiplayer either. That's your message. Brother, I just read your message. That was your message that I saw. That was literally it. Hold up. I had it on here, then it freaking moved. So we're gonna look. We're gonna look. So I just finished the podcast. He didn't say Star Fox was a Switch 2 game. He didn't mention multiplayer either. So are you telling me that you didn't say this? That's you right here, right? Superpower Man 4354. He said we're going to talk about Nintendo's summer lineup, and he's referencing the Switch 2. He is clearly talking about the Switch 2. So don't try to sit here and act like, oh, well, he didn't say Switch 2. He's clearly talking about Switch 2. He is not talking about the Switch 1. Okay? He's clearly talking about Switch 2. And if it was even on Switch 1, it would be a Switch 1 and a Switch 2 game. But he talks about the visuals. So it's on Switch 2. And then you said that he didn't mention multiplayer either. He didn't mention multiplayer. Okay, we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about him not mentioning multiplayer. Because I got you right there. Say that's what you said right here. Let's continue on.
Dude.
That's right. You're going to have Falco on screen. He's going to be talking gibberish. He's going to say, boo, 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 blah. He's going to be telling you don't to shoot him. Star Fox is coming back in summer 2026.
Whoa. You're dropping bombs right now. Summer of 2026. Star Fox. We're getting a new Star Fox game.
We're getting a new Star Fox game in the very near future.
I'm very excited to hear this. Very, very excited. I love Star Fox. Big fan
fantastic
of
franchise.
the franchise, and something that I'm sure I've mentioned this numerous times on previous episodes over the many years we've been doing this. I've wanted Star Fox to come back, but I never really felt like anything more about this. You can tell us that, like, is it like a remake of the first game? Is it a brand new game? Is it on rails? Is it an adventure game? Is there anything you know about this game?
So I've been told it is a classic style Star Fox game.
Ooh, I like.
I've been told the visuals are supposed to be very good, very, very satisfying. And I've heard it does have online multiplayer.
Ooh.
What Superman? You said that he didn't say anything about multiplayer. What did you just hear? Hold up, I'm gonna replay that.
I like.
I've been told the visuals are supposed to be very good, very, very satisfying. And I've heard it does have online multiplayer.
Ooh.
You said that he didn't say anything about multiplayer. He didn't mention multiplayer either. So what happened there? You said that he didn't say anything about multiplayer. So what am I lying? Did I make this up? So you want to readdress what you said again? Or no? Yes or no? You want to readdress that? Casual Noob with the 3.
Hey OJ, I just got here. Don't know if you discussed or saw this, but Kit posted a short video saying Nintendo is not going to be happy with the leaks. Also, I think Star Fox game trailer will premiere at Mario Galaxy movie in theaters.
I mean, duh, Nintendo's not going to be happy with the leaks. Like, well, they're gonna be like, oh, that's great. Look at the leaks here. We're happy. Of course they're not going to be happy. They want it to be a surprise. But we still need to actually see all of it in action. Nintendo's had a million leaks forever. So they'll get over it, you know? They'll get over it eventually. Let's see here. Oh, now you finally want to admit that you're wrong about multiplayer. You finally want to admit that you're wrong about... See, that's the problem, Superpower Man. That's the problem with you, brother. That's the problem, is that you will not... You have to be... I have to bend you're laying to the point to where you just admit that you're wrong. Everybody in here was telling you, no, he talked about multiplayer. No, he talked, and you wouldn't say anything. I have to pull it up and literally show it exactly what it is for you to admit that you were wrong. That's the crazy part about it. And everybody in here was telling you that you're wrong. I shouldn't have to twist your leg like that about something that we all know what was the truth of what he was saying. We all know that he meant Star Fox for the Switch 2. We all know that because he's talked about Nintendo's summer lineup. It's going to be a Switch 2 game. Even, what do you think it's going to come out on? Freaking the N64? It would be, regardless, it's going to be on the Switch 2. It's going to be a Switch 2 game. We all know this. He doesn't have to say it's a Switch 2 game. Clearly it's a Switch 2 game. Clearly it's a Switch 2 game. But just like you missed that because he's talking about the summer lineup for the Switch 2, which he said he's talking about the summer lineup. Bro, come on. So that's the thing. Anyway, Charlie, thank you for the subscription, man. I appreciate that. Capcom fixed RE9 on Switch. No more frame skipping during church. Plays smooth down. Is it at 30 FPS or is that 60 FPS? Which one? So let's see here. Thank you for the subscription though. All range mode would be huge. New audience fans will not buy a rail shooter. Once again, we have to wait and see the game. I think the problem is that you're acting like you know what the game is going to be. And we need to wait and actually see the game first and foremost. We have to wait and see what it's going to be first and foremost. If you just said that like Donkey Kong was going to be a 3D platformer, that's like 30 years ago from the N64, people would be like, okay, but Donkey Kong Bonanza clearly just isn't a normal 3D platformer. It has a whole new gimmick. It has a whole new thing that you can do that makes it far beyond what it did on the N64. So I think that we need to actually wait and see. Guys like you don't understand about what waiting and seeing is to see what they actually show off. You make you assume everything of what it's going to be based off of the limited information that you have, and then sit there and make proclamations that people aren't going to buy it because you aren't going to buy it or because you don't like it. So it's silly. Wait and see. Trust me, I've been doing this for a long time, and people like you are usually wrong. You guys are usually wrong. Almost 99% of the time, you guys that come in here and make statements about it's gonna be this or it's gonna be like it was 5 billion years ago, you guys are usually wrong because you haven't seen it yet. You're just talking. So wait and see. Wait and see before you start making all these. We don't know who's developing it, what type of game it's going to be. Really, it's classic, but we don't know what they're gonna add. Donkey Kong Bonanza is also a classic 3D platformer, but it's got a bunch of new things that aren't in other 3D platformers as well. It's completely different from other 3D platformers. So we've got to wait and see. We got to wait and see, man. So yeah, anyway. And that's fine. Don't buy it. Don't buy it. If you don't think it's gonna be good because you think it's terrible, don't buy it. It's fine. Everybody else will. Let's see here. Damn, OJ going down Super Bomberman like it was 2000s. Not Super Power Man. Not Super Bomberman. Super Power Man. But I had to go in because he came in here. The first thing that he said is that I'm a liar. That Nate didn't say this and he didn't mention multiplayer. That's the first thing that he said is that I'm lying. That's the first thing that he came into the podcast and said is that I was lying. So yeah. Let's see here. Remember, Sakurai hates modern Kirby. Oh yeah, Sakurai hates modern Kirby. All sorts of stuff that people say. Let's see here. Bonanza is more Bayo than Odyssey. Bonanza's more Bayo than Odyssey, but it's still a classic 3D platformer though. It still have classic 3D platforming elements to the game. So we don't know what new elements they're gonna. They didn't say it's gonna be exactly like Star Fox in the past. They didn't say that. They did not say that. So they said nothing like that. You can't have a rail shooter with online multiplayer too. I mean, you can, maybe, but you obviously would have to make new elements towards that. So we have to wait and actually see. You know, I don't think it's going to play just like Star Fox on the Super Nintendo. But I'm more than willing to make a bet with you if you want. George FT with the $1.99 says, remember when DK Bonanza was rumored to be 2D? There was rumors of DK Bonanza being 2D or a 2D, 3D hybrid. Obviously, that ended up being wrong. So there's also that. Wait, Dawson took a L? Where did Dawson take a L? Where did Dawson take a L at? What did Dawson say? Did Dawson take a L with Superpower Man, or what happened here? I didn't see that. Tell me what L, Dawson. What L did you take, fam? He doubled down and said you were dishonest again. Dawson doubled down and said I was dishonest. What? That doesn't sound like something Dawson would say. Casual Noob with the Jonin tier pledge. Thank you so much, Casual Noob. I should be pretty obvious that they're a big major game that wasn't announced for the Switch 1. That's going to be a Switch 2 exclusive. Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Would be super dope if we get Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask Remake bundle. I mean, there's not going to be a bundle. It's probably just going to be Ocarina of Time. I mean, if this is going to be like a big remake, they're not going to bundle it together. I think it's going to be an actual real remake, not like the remaster of like Ocarina of Time from the 3DS down. I think an Ocarina of Time, you know, and Majora's Mask like bundle together. If you're talking about the 3DS games, then that makes sense. But this apparently is going to be an actual like real remake of Ocarina of Time. And if they do that, they're not going to bundle two games together. That's insane. For like a remake that uses the capabilities of the Switch 2, that's not going to happen. So you can get that out of your system. Don't think that. Thank you with Jonin tier from Casual Noob. Thank you so much, Casual Noob, with the Jonin tier pledge. Let's go. Shout outs, man. I appreciate you. Let's see here. Hey, I'm going on what you said. Okay. I didn't say that it was going to be a 1990. It's going to be like it was 30 years ago. Mario is a classic 3D platformer. Mario Odyssey is a classic 3D platformer. It's classic. But that doesn't mean it's just like freaking Mario 64. So no, that's not what I said. I didn't say that I was going to be a classic rail shooter that's going to play exactly like Star Fox 64. I didn't say that. I actually said the opposite. I said that, sure, there's some elements that they can add that's new to it, but it can play like in a classic form, but there's going to be new elements to a classic. That's what Nintendo does to their games. But Mario Odyssey is also a classic 3D platformer, but it has a bunch of new elements to it. You can have Smash Brothers as a classic 2D fighting game, or a classic like old Smash, but it has a bunch of new elements to it as well. Like, so no, I didn't say that. Roggy with the 20.
Remake you think they are making for Zelda?
What kind of remake? It's a remake. I mean, it's a Ocarina of Time remake. It's a big remake for the game. So it's like, take what the Switch 2 can do graphics wise, or what you'd expect for like what Ocarina of Time would look like modern, and that's it. That's what I would expect, Roggy. That's what I think based off of what Nate the Hate said. Nate did say Dustbloods is still coming for this year. He did say that. So yeah, he did. He did say that. Exactly. You tried to say I said that he didn't mention Star Fox at all. Oh, okay. Dawson said the same thing. Okay, so both of you. Okay, so both of y'all can take the L's. Both. double L's to Superpower Man and Dawson. That's okay. I took the L on 3D Mario for 2026, so I can have some humility as well. I'll take the L for 3D Mario and not coming out in 2026. So I'll admit that I'm wrong about 3D Mario for 2026. If what Nate the Hate is saying is holding up, we might still see it this year, but yeah, we will see about that one. Shout outs though to my man Roggy Froggy. I appreciate it. Thank you for the big 20. But yeah, Ocarina of Time remake. It's gonna be like Ocarina of Time. I mean, remade, you know? So it's like, that's what I would think, Roggy. That's what I would think it would be like. Ocarina of Time, but better graphics. Let's see here. We can all take some L's. We all take L's every now and then. But yeah, Nate the Hate definitely was talking about the Switch 2 summer lineup. He was talking about Switch 2. He was talking about Nintendo, and he phrased it in that way. He didn't say that this was going to be like a Switch 1 game or exclusive to Switch 1, or he didn't say anything like that. He was specifically talking about the Switch 2 when he talked about what's it called? When he talked about Star Fox, especially since the whole graphics thing. And Nintendo already said that they're moving away from Switch 1 development. So, I mean, we don't have any I don't think there's going to be any new Switch 1 games announced. We haven't had any new Switch 1 games announced since last year. the last time that we had any new Switch 1 games announced was in early 2025 at the Direct. But they haven't announced a single new Switch 1 game that wasn't coming to Switch 2 since then. From what I understand, they've announced nothing. Rhythm Heaven seems to be the last Switch 1 game that's coming out. That's been announced. Since Rhythm Heaven, there's been nothing. Unless I'm wrong, let me know in the chat if I'm wrong. But we've gotten nothing since then. You know, nothing since then. Shout outs to Roggy. Thank you for the $20 dono, though. You are now the Hokage in Stream Ninja. Anybody that does 20 or more, you bet, man. Roggy Froggy on the top of the board. Let's go. What's up, Unreal Christian? Shout outs, man. Would you put Star Fox game as your top tier favorite game like Super Smash Bros., Xeno, or Fire Emblem? No. Star Fox isn't that high. I think back in the day it was, like, you know, in the 90s. Yeah, it was. But it was never as high as, like, I don't see it as high as, like, Xeno and all that, no. You're still misunderstanding. I was not defending what Super Power Man actually said, but clarifying because you misunderstood at one point. I didn't think I misunderstood what he was saying. I don't think I did, because the problem is that I understand. It's like, oh, well, he didn't say Switch 2, but he was talking about the Switch 2 summer lineup. He was specifically talking about the Switch 2 summer lineup. So I don't think I misunderstood. And on top of that, the second half of what he said was like, oh, he didn't mention multiplayer. That was also incorrect. So I did see that you said, oh, well, they didn't specifically mention Switch 2, but that's being particularly obtuse for no reason, though. That's being obtuse, like Super Man was being obtuse for no reason, because Nate was definitely referencing the Switch 2 summer lineup. He was talking about games that were coming out in the summer for the Switch 2. That's what he was like. He doesn't have to mention, this is for Switch 2. This is for Switch 2. This is for Switch 2. If he mentions, hey, what's Nintendo's lineup? He is implying that it is Switch 2. That is clearly implied. To the point where we don't have to sit there and try to split hairs and say, oh, well, he didn't mention it. So, like, what system was he talking about? Was he talking about the Wii? Is Nintendo releasing games for the Wii or the Wii U? So he was specifically talking about Nintendo's summer lineup for the Switch 2 and the Switch 2 system itself. That's what he was referencing. You know? Let's see here. That's it with the $10 Zhao. Let's go, man.
For the clock breakers anyways, great morning OJ, hopefully all is well with you. Did you take the time to check out the trailer I sent to you?
I haven't got it.
Working on the final touches, but we're about to enter the next phase. Music request F-Zero any track JOO.
Haven't got a chance. Thank you for the JoJo though, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for the JoJo. No, I didn't misunderstand what he said. I did not misunderstand what he said. Once again, we're going to have to agree to disagree on that one. I didn't misunderstand it, and he also had misinformation in there saying that Nate never mentioned multiplayer. So, I mean, regardless of what way you cut it, which way you slice it, he was wrong about the statement. Regardless, he was wrong. He was wrong, because not only that, if you're talking about implied meaning of something, like I said, I did communication, I know. You can't say that, oh, I'm going to split hairs here with, he didn't mention specifically Switch 2, then also follow that right next with flat out wrong information that, no, he didn't mention multiplayer. So I see what you're trying to say. Oh, I'm going to be cheeky with this thing, but then also mention something where I'm just flat out wrong. I personally do not think that's what Superpower Man meant. I think he actually meant that he didn't mention those two things, because why would you put something that you're being cheeky about, right? Oh, well, he didn't specifically mention Switch 2 right next to flat out false information as he didn't mention multiplayer either, even though he clearly mentioned multiplayer. So if you're making a joke or trying to be more of, like, let's just say cheeky about it, why would you put flat out wrong information in the same statement? You would put two things that was both cheeky about things, right? You would not make it to where it was two things that were one that was a joke or messing around and one that was just flat out wrong. In my opinion, I don't believe that. That's usually not what happens when people are making or splitting hairs or being semantics or things like that. They don't do that. So that's why I don't agree with what you're trying to say. That's my own opinion from talking with 5 billion people. Even when I make jokes or when I say things or when I'm trying to be cheeky, I don't put flat out false information with something that I'm trying to be cheeky with. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that. So that's why I say I don't 100% buy that, because he flat out put false information in there as well. If he was just saying, oh, well, I'm going to be a little bit, cheeky here with some of this, why would you put the fact that he didn't mention multiplayer in the same statement? That doesn't make any sense, So that's just my opinion. But once again, we can move on from it, but I don't see it the same way, bro. I don't see it the same way. Let's see. He could have just added exclusive to there. Yeah. No, like I said, I get the sentiment, and that's okay. But if you're going to do that, you can't flat out put false information in there as well. Like, you got to be cheeky throughout the whole thing. You got to do that, because he said he didn't mention multiplayer. He mentioned online multiplayer. That's what he mentioned. So yeah, man, it's all good. Let's see here. This is make or break for Star Fox. They've got to do something that blends the old and modern game. We can't have another Zero. Well, I don't think it's going to be like Star Fox Zero, because I don't think Platinum Games is going to make it. So I'm not really too worried about that, to be honest. What I'm excited about is that they're going back to what made Star Fox great. Star Fox Zero wasn't a pure rail shooter, which you're saying that you can't do. It didn't do that either. It had other parts that wasn't rail shooter. Star Fox Assault wasn't a pure rail shooter, and that's not as good as the pure rail shooters that we have. So I think it's about making the best game that you can make. That's the most important thing. Make the best game that you can make, evolve it how you can evolve it, but it doesn't need to be GTA, or it doesn't need to be like Star Fox Assault, because those games have different elements that are not just rail shooter, and those games didn't do that great. So we need to have a great game. At the end of the day, the game needs to be really good. So yeah, Star Fox MP could be great. No good arcade fighting game. I mean, I think there's what's that? Is Ace Combat? Isn't there like Ace Combat or something? Let me play some Star Fox. Not Star Fox. Let me play some F-Zero music. F-Zero music. Let's see here, bro. Just wait for the game to come out. He's not gonna wait for the game to come out. He's acting crazy. And then he tried to say that I told him that it was gonna be just like it was 30 years ago. I didn't say that. Like I said, this dude's crazy. But I mean, that's Nintendo fans for you. Some Nintendo fans are insane. They'll take what somebody says and twist it to their own imagination. So, it is what it is. Let's see here. Zero was fun. So Zero was fun, but bro, just wait for the game to come out. Okay, no, you already said that. Zero was fun, but the gamepad held it back. Yeah. The new game ends up like Assault, but better. I'm down for it. Okay. Let's see. I also don't understand how rail shooters are a bad thing. Once again, they're not. Some people are just really weird about it. Star Fox 64 is incredible. We all just wanted an evolution of Star Fox 64. I don't think people were like, oh man, when Assault was coming out, people were like, oh man, like a rail shooters, that's not good. I can't spend money on that. Nobody said that. So that's just some type of weird thing that people say now for some reason. There aren't really many rail shooters at all. So I think it's just something that people are just, that don't like them that much or don't care, say now because it's old, but we haven't really seen any evolved formula of a rail shooter. Like, there's been nothing in the modern day, really. I mean, outside of Star Fox Zero, but once again, Star Fox Zero, it has parts that aren't rail shooting parts, and it's still not that great of a game. And the rail shooting parts of Star Fox Zero are actually really good. Like, they're not bad. The problem was the controls. Like, Star Fox Zero didn't fail because it was a rail shooter or because of the rail shooting parts. It failed because of the controls, because the Wii U was a flop, and because it didn't really, like, in terms of technological advancement, people were looking like, wait a minute, Star Fox is supposed to look way better than this. Like, people were looking for something a bit more advanced. So those were the reasons, not because it's a rail shooter. You think that it would be, you think that with PS5 price hike and Switch 2 rumors that Nintendo fans would be thrilled today, but nope, they're crying. I think actually a lot of Nintendo fans are actually really excited about Ocarina of Time Remake and really excited about Star Fox. I think that's super, super, super exciting. But obviously there's stuff that's not good. Like, okay, well, we have to wait a little bit longer for the Direct, and oh, we're not getting the 3D Mario. And of course the Mario-ers, I guess you can't include Zelda-ers now at this point, but the Mario-ers are what's it called? Are not are upset, you know, and that's fine. They can be upset. They'll get their game when they get their game, you know. I really like Star Fox Zero. Didn't have any issues with the controls, and yeah, I mean Nate also says that he likes Star Fox Zero, and MVG also says that he likes Star Fox Zero. They both like Star Fox Zero, you know. They both say that it's good. So yeah. Let's see here. No, they're calling you crazy because you're assuming that it's going to be like it was in 1993 already before you've even seen the game. That's why they're calling you crazy. That's the reason why. They're not calling you crazy because you want to see some innovation or you want to see what they're doing. They're calling you crazy because you immediately blasted it and said that it's going to be like it's 1993 before you've even seen the game. That's why they're calling you crazy. Let's just be real here. That's why I called you crazy. Because you haven't seen it. Nobody said that it was going to be just like it was in 1993, that there's no evolution or no innovation. Nobody said that. You can have a classic style game that has innovation. Mario Odyssey, Donkey Kong Bonanza, those are all classic games that have innovation. So that's why they're calling you crazy. Let's just make sure that we put that out there, Ares. That's why. So yeah, there you go. I'm so jaded after years of nostalgia bait that I could have an Ocarina of Time remake in hand and still not believe it's real. I know, seriously. Maybe one of these days. Zelda fans like myself are definitely hyped today. You even have Discussing Film posted about Ocarina of Time remake. I mean, Ocarina of Time is one of the greatest games of all time. Obviously, having an Ocarina of Time remake would be huge, you know? So yeah, that'd be big. You know, that'd be really big. Yeah, to clarify, exactly. To clarify. We're not saying, listen, I want innovation in the new Star Fox game. I want innovation in the new Star Fox. I want them to do something different with the rail shooter formula. I want them to evolve it. I want them to maybe make a bigger area that you can go. Maybe you can turn back in levels and go different ways or omnidirectional. Maybe you can do different, like, I want them to do things. But just because it's classic doesn't mean that there's no innovation. That's never meant that. That's never been a thing. Once again, Mario is a classic 3D platformer. Mario Odyssey is a classic 3D platformer. Super Mario Sunshine, when it came out, is a classic 3D platformer, but yet those games had new things. Super Mario Galaxy is a classic 3D platformer. Those are all classic. If you describe them, they'd be like, oh yeah, it's classic. They're classic 3D platformers, you know? So, but you can have new elements in a classic formula. So that's not anything. Once again, you took what I said and manipulated it. No, I called you crazy because you said that it was going to be, no, don't twist what I said. I called you crazy because you said that it was going to be like 1993, that there was no innovation. And I said, no, that's crazy. You're crazy. That I didn't say that. Nobody said that. No, I know what I said. So I'm done arguing though. I'm not going back with you. This will be the last of it. So I need you to chill. All right, man. So I need you to chill. Classic doesn't mean it's going to be old school, new spin on a classic. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's trying to spin it and manipulate it as if I just called him crazy for wanting innovation. That's false. Go back and look at your messages. Go back and look. Let's see here. All I ask is that Ocarina of Time is a one-to-one remake with the quality of life improvements. I think it's going to be pretty close to that. Yeah. I think they're going to add a bunch. I think they're going to add new stuff, though. I don't think it's going to be completely 1000% one-to-one. I think they're going to add a bunch of new stuff. So, and I don't know why you're calling MVG a bald-headed demon. I mean, if you want to call him a bald-headed, but to call MVG a demon, you know what I'm saying? And talk about, you know, oh, they're in their 40s just because, you know, stuff like that. I think that's lame and corny. So, yeah, I'm just going to time you out, man. Like, you're being weird. So I'm just going to hit you with the 24. Thanks for coming out to the stream, though. But there's no reason to call MVG a demon like that. Like, what did he do to you, right? Anyway, moving on. Let's see here. Let's see here. Anyway, moving on. Let's see. Yeah, that remake is going to be one with some new elements, new game mechanics. Yeah, I think they're going to add some stuff to it. I don't think it's just going to be just the same old thing that we've gotten before, but we'll see. PS5 Pro with the disc drive with no games costs 1,000 USD. Now crazy. It's not cheap. Let's just say that it's not cheap. It is not cheap. Not cheap at all. But you know, it is what it is. You know, what can you say? What can you do? You know. Yeah, MVG's cool, man. MVG seems like a cool dude. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no reason to call him a demon and all that type of stuff. Like, for what? You know? Like, there ain't no reason to do that. So, MVG's one of the most chill guys. So, yeah, man. This guy's going nuts about Star Fox. This is crazy. I guarantee Ocarina of Time Remake will make a bigger splash than MGS3 Remake. Ocarina of Time is a bigger game than MGS3. So, yeah. I mean, Ocarina of Time is like, it's the greatest rated game of all time. It's the greatest rated game of, it's the highest rated game of all time. So MVG is my favorite ball. Yeah, MVG is a great bald YouTuber. MVG is one of my favorite ball YouTubers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I even got a picture of me and MVG. Let me show you guys a picture of me and MVG. Give me just 1 second. I'm going to show you guys the picture of me and MVG. I have one right here. It's like... it's kind of blurry. I know it's kind of blurry. But here's a picture of me and MVG. It's kind of blurry, but that's me and MVG and Xenoblade. Look. That's cool, right? I didn't post this picture before, but I think I'm going to post the picture now. And I think now might be a good time since he was on the podcast. I think I'm going to post a picture of me and MVG, you know? Like, so, yeah, there you go, man. No, that's fire. I had to really, like, I remember when I was doing, I think I was doing like his affinity quest. I think his name is Bose or Bose. I was like, no, I gotta do this and say this is MVG. Like I said, I was gonna post it the other night, but I was like, let me wait for the right opportunity. Like, MVG's like in the news, and then I'll be like posting a picture of me and MVG pulling up to the Nate the Hate podcast. Let's see. I thought you were gonna. Yeah, well, because I know MVG, so yeah, I know you guys thought that I was gonna pull a real picture of me and MVG. Oh my gosh! Did I play F-Zero music? No, I already did play F-Zero. Let me play some more F-Zero music. Let me go. Let's see here. Bronze get not be leading to thinking. Yeah, it was a real one. It was not a real one. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, man. Let's see. Can you please play Star Fox Space Armada SNES version? Yeah, I can, George. Thank you for the support earlier, man. I appreciate it. I can play that for you. Star Fox, Space Armada SNES theme. I always said this, like, at the last direct that Nintendo had, I gave it a little bit lower score because I said that Nintendo always needs at least like one OG class. To me, we get directs 2 to 3 times per year. I personally feel that every direct Nintendo needs at least one OG classic revival or like OG classic to come back. So for me, Star Fox coming back is good. Like, it's a really good thing, especially if it's like multiplayer, great graphics. That's what, well, great graphics are what made Star Fox what it was back in the day, you know? So, to me, that's a good thing, man. That's definitely a good thing. Like, we need that. We need Star Fox coming back. We need some of these classic franchises coming back. I didn't know how Nintendo was going to get it done, but I hope it's good, man. I hope it's good. Next revival should be Golden Sun, right? I hope so, man. I think Golden Sun would be really good, man. I think Golden Sun would be really, really, really good. Let's see here. Ocarina of Time is trending worldwide on Twitter just off a rumor. Ocarina of Time is huge. Like I know I've seen some YouTubers. I think Switchforce, he's not happy with that. But Ocarina of Time remake, dude, it's been 30 years since Ocarina of Time. I mean, it's the 40th anniversary of Legend of Zelda. It's been 30 years since Ocarina of Time, almost a little bit less than 30 years. So giving people Ocarina of Time remade and like new elements and like modern graphics, that's like a new game for some people, man, because like Ocarina of Time is old at this point. It definitely needs some quality of life adjustments and things like that. So Ocarina of Time is massive. That is a massive game that's going to help move a lot of systems, you know. It's huge. I mean, even like people are wanting Bloodborne. People are saying Bloodborne should get a remaster. People are like, please give us Bloodborne. That game's not even as old as Ocarina of Time. And people have been begging for Bloodborne. Yet you can play it on your PS5 right now in pretty good graphics, right? Obviously you can't play it in 60 frames per second, but people are begging for Bloodborne, you know? So, I definitely think that that Ocarina of Time is going to be huge. If it's like as what I think it's going to be, Ocarina of Time is going to be a massive game this fall. So, massive game this fall. Are they really are the really remaking my favorite Zelda game? Are they? I think it meant they. Yes, it seems to be that way. A remake of Ocarina of Time only seemed to be the only like feasible option. It had to be like a remake or a remaster of an old game because a new Zelda game is not going to be ready because Tears of the Kingdom just came out in 2023. So a new one wouldn't be ready by then. So. Obviously, Ocarina of Time 3D is great. I played it 2 years ago. I still want a remake with modern graphics and new mechanics. Yeah, because Ocarina of Time is 3D. It's kind of like just like a really high-end remaster. It's like a remaster of the game. It's not quite a remake of it, according to Nintendo themselves. So, this is so cringe. But what's the Ocarina of Time news? This is so what? It's right here on screen. Like you can, everything that we're talking about is right here on screen. So you can, it's right there. But it's Ocarina of Time remade for the Switch 2, coming out this year. Ocarina of Time remake this year. Switch 4 is showing the side of Nintendo fans that are super entitled. I think really what he just wanted was he didn't get 3D Mario, because I don't know what other type of games that Nintendo could release that wouldn't be like, what can they release? Because he says, oh, I want something to show the scope and power of the system. Ocarina of Time remake, Star Fox, these are all things that were built off of graphics. Star Fox was a graphics game. You know, that was what it was made, like Ocarina of Time was a graphics game. I mean, obviously it was like gameplay too, but it was also like, look at these graphics. So these are games that are going to show what the Switch 2 can do. I think Star Fox is going to surprise a lot of people. Yes, rail shooter, whatever, but the graphics in the game are going to look incredible. And I think it's going to actually evolve the rail shooters. I don't think it's just going to be a straight up rail shooter. I think they're going to actually, it's going to be the classic rail shooting stuff, but they're going to have new elements. I don't see how this wouldn't show the scope and scale of the Switch 2. Like if you're remaking Ocarina of Time, you've got to make it look incredible. You got to make it look like the freaking Twilight Princess, what's it called? The Wii U tech demo. I think it could look something like that, but like better, you know? So I don't get it. I don't understand. I think it's really just some people that they don't get 3D Mario this year. I think that's really the problem that he has. I think that if it's 3D Mario, then all of a sudden the lineup would be great. But since it's not 3D Mario, the lineup's not great, you know? Like, so I think that's really what it comes down to, because I think he was banking on 3D Mario coming out this year. People saying they'll move to PC now because the console prices are going to be a rude awakening when they see PC component prices now. Yep. Yep. I wonder who's developing the next Star Fox game. I'm not sure it's Platinum Games would be involved. No, Platinum's not involved. No, I don't think that they are. So I don't think that they are. What's up, Roggy? I love Ocarina Time to Death, but it's hard for me to go back and play it as is. I think a benefit so much of a remake could get some yeah, exactly. It's a bit rough. I mean, it's still mainly it's playable, but like, you know, if you play it on the original hardware, it's so crusty on the original hardware. I think a remake would be good, you know. Pigeon with the 5. What's going on, fellas? With how successful Nintendo has been choosing the studios to work with, what studio do you want to see make Star Fox? I don't know. I think that they can handle it internally, and I think that's what's going to happen. But we'll see. We will see. I'm not sure who is handling Star Fox. I do not know. But what's up, Pigeon Go Gaming? Make sure you guys follow my man Pigeon Go on Twitter. But yeah, I have no idea, dude. I'm not sure. I mean, Bandai Namco is always a possibility. They did Star Fox Assault. So I think that that's possible that Bandai Namco comes back with something. So we'll see. My guess is that 3D Mario is the first half of 2027 and Pokemon is in the second half. My guess is that Pokemon and Mario are in the first half. That's what would be my guess. I don't know. Like, I think that maybe March or so, or January or February for Pokemon, like Legends Arceus released in January. I think it's going to be early 2027, and then I think it's going to be like spring 2027 for like Mario, or it can be flipped. I don't think they're going to wait all the way till the end of 2027 for Pokemon. I think they wouldn't have announced it this early if it was going to be, you know, 2 years, almost 2 years off. I think it's going to be in early 2027. I think they're going to try to stack the early 2027 to finish out the quarter strong, or finish out the first quarter strong, and then start the second quarter hot, you know? Because if you look at the financial year ends in March, at the end of March, so they're going to want to have one big game, a Pokemon game. Look at what Pokopia is doing for the Switch 2 right now. I think they're going to want to have maybe March for Pokemon Winds and Waves, because it feels like a spring game anyway. So March feels like a natural time slot for that game, and then maybe like May. So like Yoshi and the Mysterious Book is May this year, so I think May next year would probably be like 3D Mario. And then sprinkle it in between with some like smaller stuff in between Switch 2 editions or whatever, other games, smaller games, like maybe golf, you know, whatever, something else, right? So you just do that, and I think that is a good first half of the year. You get a big jump, you get a big bump towards the end of your fiscal year, then you get a nice bump towards your next quarter for sales. So that's what I think they're going to do. I think they're going to position it that way. Let's see, no Mario Kart DLC, brutal. I think Mario Kart DLC will be announced at some point. I think it will be, believe it or not. PS5 is cooked, just made Switch 2 look better. I don't think PS5 is cooked yet. I think people are still going to buy the PS5, but there's definitely some cooking going. It's definitely on the grill, you know? I know people may hate this, but I hope Ocarina of Time Remake is a Switch 2 exclusive. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a Switch 2 exclusive. I don't see why it would be on Switch 1. I mean, it could be, but I don't know. Nintendo, I mean, they could announce it as a Switch 2, Nintendo Switch 2, 2 edition game, which is fine if they do. I mean, even if you make Ocarina of Time with Switch 1 graphics, I mean, that would still be really good. But yeah, I think it's going to be a Switch 2 exclusive. I think they're trying to push Switch 2 now, so I don't see them doing, like, I don't know how many more Switch 2 editions that we're going to have. All of the Switch 2 editions are on previously announced games that came out in the Switch 1 era. There are no Switch 2 editions that were new announcements like day and date. There's been nothing. Every single Switch 2 edition game is a game that was already announced for the Switch 1 and already released for the Switch 1, with the exception of like the games that came out as the Switch 2 was coming out. So Pokemon Legends ZA, that was a dual launch, but that was already announced for the Switch 1. Or what's the other one? Metroid Prime 4. Yeah, that's also Switch 1 and Switch 2 dual launch, but that was already announced for the Switch 1 before the Switch 2 was even a thing. before we heard about it. So I don't think that there's going to be any newly announced Switch 1 and Switch 2 games. Every single game that we've gotten so far has been already revealed, already announced, already out on other platforms, or already announced for the Switch 1. So that's the reason why. Yes, Nate did say that there's going to be other surprises. He didn't say the whole thing, so that there's going to be that there could be other surprises. So I'm pretty sure there'll be other stuff as well. So we'll see. Let's see here. PS5 is cooked. PlayerEssence 327. No, I did not say PS5 is cooked. I said that it's not cooked. I said people are still gonna buy it, but I said it's on the grill. It's definitely heating up because of the price increase. But I did not say that it was cooked. I said that it's on the grill. There's definitely some heat on them, you know, for the price increase. But I didn't say it's not cooked. And I said that it's still gonna sell. What are you talking about? Stop. If Breath of the Wild and Odyssey in the same year was big, imagine Pokemon wins and waves in the next 3D Mario. Yeah, that's actually... that's just as big. Just as big. Pretty much just as big, if not a little bit bigger, because Pokemon just carries so much weight, you know? I have no idea who's making the Ocarina of Time remake. I'm guessing maybe it's a collaboration between Grezzo and Nintendo's internal, like the Zelda team and Grezzo. That's what I'm guessing, but it could be anything. Switch 2 will be cooking, and it should get 100 million sales in a few years. Yeah, I think by year 5 or year 6, Switch 2 should probably be at 100 million sales, yeah. Let's see. Nah, Nintendo's full steam ahead on Switch 2 exclusives after Rhythm Heaven. That's it for first party Switch 1 game. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, J-Views. I don't think that we're gonna see Switch 2 or Switch 1 games. Like, I think that I mean, you know, and Furukawa even stated that, you know, look, we're kind of done with Switch 1. And since that point, we haven't seen any newly announced, like the last newly announced Switch 1 game was a year ago. A year ago, right around this time when we had that Nintendo Direct for the Switch 1. There has been 0 newly announced Switch 1 games since then. There's been nothing, you know? So I don't think that there's going to be any more, but we'll see. I think that having Ocarina of Time as a Switch 2 exclusive is a huge system seller. It's like when people are like, wait a minute, I gotta buy a Switch 2 for Pocopia? What? You have all these old heads coming out of the woodwork. Wait a minute, I gotta buy a Switch 2 for Ocarina of Time. I played that when I was my childhood favorite. That's not fair. Okay, well, pay up before the price goes up, you know? So it's like, you want to play the exclusives, you gotta pay. You want to play Sorrows coming out? Better get yourself a PS5 before the price goes up. Because it's not right now, it's just on PS5. You want to play, you know, whatever else, Astrobot? Get yourself a PS5. You want to play, you know, Star Fox? You gotta have a Switch 2. Let's see here. The only one, Fire Red and Leaf Green. But do they count? No, Fire Red and Leaf Green don't count because those are what's it called games? Those are classic, you know, digital download releases. Those are not newly announced like game, and that's a game that's once again that's already been out. That's an old game. That's old. That's not a new title, you know? It's just the same Fire Red, Leaf Green. Your last message? When was your last message? I don't know. We got a lot of messages in here. What did you say? I didn't see it. Riders. Speaking of the next Thursday, will be 1 year of the Switch 2 Direct Showcase. The time is almost too perfect for something to drop. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Anthony Hernandez, thank you for the subscription, man. I appreciate that. Welcome to the village, homie. Appreciate you, fam. Let's go. I think that's why Nintendo changed the day of the Mario Galaxy movie too, because it originally was supposed to come out on April 2nd, so they moved it to the 1st. Very interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. We'll see. Yeah, that's interesting. We'll see. Yeah, Juice Man Vaughn had to. He's checking Switch Force. It's so funny when I see people arguing on Twitter. I find it hilarious. Because Switch Force is saying that nobody cares about, or nobody thinks that Star Fox or Ocarina of Time or Switch Sports are like good games. And it's just like, ooh, those games are all going to sell really good. Well, I don't know about Star Fox, But Ocarina of Time, I mean, if Star Fox graphically looks incredible and gets good reviews, it's gonna sell well. But like Ocarina of Time is gonna sell like crazy. Switch Sports is also gonna sell really good too. So yeah, people don't believe him. So let's get some difference of opinion here. So Switch Sports feels this. He feels, because somebody said, I think basically what happened here was that because he said Star Fox, Switch Sports, Ocarina of Time, Fire Emblem, Yoshi, not how you do your first full year of your most up-to-date system in generations. So Star Fox, Switch Sports, Ocarina of Time, Fire Emblem. I don't know. I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. I'm like, wait a minute. Fire Emblem, Star Fox, Ocarina of Time, and Yoshi actually sound legit awesome for like going into the first. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I'm dumb, but it actually sounds actually pretty good to me. And then somebody said, God forbid we don't get spam with Mario and Zelda for a change. LOL. So that's what he quote tweeted. He quote tweeted that. Let me see what the quote tweets say. Or actually, no. So then, yeah, Switch Sports quote tweeted that said, it's not that. I mean, it is that. It is that. Because if Mario was here, this wouldn't be happening. This tweet wouldn't be up. No, it is that. Try to sit there and tell me that it's not about Mario. That is Zach. It's about Mario. Let's be real here. You would not be saying this if Mario was supposed to be this. You wouldn't be like, oh my god, this lineup is terrible. Oh, just Mario? You'd be like, oh great, Mario's coming. It literally is about Mario. That's what it is. Let's be real here. He said it's not that. It is. It is about Mario. Let's just be real. It's not that. It's that the games mentioned feel niche and not system seller titles capitalizing on the impressive power of Switch 2. Looking backwards instead of forward, classic Star Fox, Ocarina, Switch Sports feels like a huge misstep. See, like, that's where I disagree. Switch Sports is a 17 million selling game and actually helped sell the Switch 1 more than people even realize. Switch 1, that sold more than Splatoon. So the Nintendo Switch sold more than Splatoon. It sold more than Luigi's Mansion. It sold more than 99% of Nintendo's games on Switch 2. There are very few, or Switch 1. There are very few Switch 1 games that sold better than Nintendo Switch Sports. There's only a handful. And the only games are like Mario and Zelda, right? Mario, Zelda, Smash Brothers, Animal Crossing, that's it. Outside of those, like Switch Sports is one of the best selling games, and it's been a big system seller. Yes, these leaks are credible. Next up, Ocarina of Time is a massive system seller. It's one of the greatest games of all time. People have been begging for Ocarina of Time to be remade. I don't see how anybody can sit here and say that if they bring back Ocarina of Time with updates and new information and it looks incredible, how that's not a system seller. How is that not a system seller? That makes zero sense. That is a huge system seller. To have Ocarina of Time, that is a massive system seller. In my opinion, it's a big system seller. But I just want these classic Zelda people to put up, actually buy the game. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to Star Fox is not a system seller in the current form that we know. When it comes to Star Fox Zero, Star Fox Assault, Star Fox, the DS game, those aren't. Did Star Fox used to be a system seller? Yes, it was. There was a time when Star Fox was a hot franchise. If they can channel the essence of Star Fox 64 in a brand new game, as in technologically superior, multiplayer that people want to play online, incredible single player campaign that evolves what they did before, because Star Fox 64 evolved from Star Fox on the Super Nintendo. There are different types of rail shooters. Star Fox 64 makes all range mode. They make it to where you can have the Landmaster, you have a sea, like a submarine. There's different gameplay styles within there. If they can evolve it from where they had it from Star Fox 64 and they create a compelling game, it can be a system seller for some people. It can be a low-key one. Now, is it going to be a massive like 3D Mario? Absolutely not. Or like Pokemon? Nope, not even close. Not even close to Pokemon or like Mario, but can it get those 64 people to buy in? Yes, this lineup with Star Fox 64 and with Ocarina of Time, those can definitely get the old heads to come back into it and new people to try it out. But once again, the first thing that you have to do with Star Fox to bring Star Fox back, it's gotta look appealing. The graphics gotta be incredible, and that's what they're doing. The online multiplayer needs to be good. It needs to be an engaging game with new elements. If they do that, Star Fox can come back and it can help sell the Switch too. But once again, we have to wait and see for the full lineup, you know. So I bet the farm that Nintendo will host a direct for this Star Fox game. It makes too much sense. Maybe we'll see. We will see. Let's see here. Star Fox Landmaster. He wants the games that are evolutionary and exciting, new IP or old IP. So Raiders isn't a new take on an old IP. Same with Pocopia. Star Fox isn't bringing back the old IP that has been dormant. I think Star Fox is going to listen. If Nate's excited about it and he has details, like he says, it's going to have online multiplayer. The graphics are going to be good. I'm enough to be excited about that. That right there is exciting enough to me because what made Star Fox great was great graphics and multiplayer. Like Star Fox 64, I played so much multiplayer in that game. I mean, it wasn't the key thing with the game, but it was one of the things that made it really fun. Was it had good replay value because the campaign was short, but you can blast your homies. Like I said, back in the day, the N64. Now, obviously, the GameCube version, no online, that kind of stung because people were looking for online at that point. But the multiplayer was still fun in Assault. So if they can evolve the multiplayer, if they can, you know, make a great campaign that is very fun to play, and it looks incredible, then Star Fox can be back. I think it can help. Like I said, like the 64 sells a lot less without Star Fox. Like 64 probably sells less than 30 million. Many people bought a 64 simply for Star Fox 64. Many people bought a Super Nintendo for Star Fox. You know, these were things that people said back then. So if they can channel that, I get it. But I get where Switch Force is coming from. I get where he's like, okay, well, that's not 3D Mario, essentially. Like, that's not... But how many other... It's not Smash Brothers, right? But how many other franchises does Nintendo have that can be a system seller? Really, all they have that's like the traditional system seller is Smash, 3D Mario, Pokemon, Zelda, Animal Crossing. Like, those are the 5 franchises throughout Nintendo's history that have been the systems. Oh, and like Wii Sports or like the sports titles. So out of all of those, you're getting Zelda, right? You're getting a sports title, you're getting Zelda. You're getting 2 of the big system sellers in Nintendo's history, which is Zelda and Nintendo Switch Sports, which that was a system seller. Believe it or not, it just is. It sold too much. It sold any game that sells 10 million plus is a system seller, in my opinion, because that is a high ratio compared to the rest of the other games. So if your game sells 10 million plus, that is an actual big system seller. If your game doesn't sell that, I mean, if it's under 10 million, yeah, it can still be a system seller, but it's not going to be as a big of an impact as games that sell 10 million plus. So like Wii Sports, Nintendo Switch, those were system sellers. Wii Sports, Nintendo Switch Sports, those were huge. Zelda obviously is huge. That's a system seller. So yeah, I don't know if I don't know if I agree with Switch Force's thing here. I mean, Zelda is huge. That's just big. That's just big. I want a diverse representation of Nintendo IP. People have been calling for Star Fox to come back, so I mean, listen, it's great to see an OG come back. I just want it to be good. If it's really good, I'm not really worried about it being a system seller, more so than I'm worried about Star Fox being good. Like, if it's a system seller, if it ends up being good, then it's good. If it's not, then it's not. But, I mean, I want really good games. That's what I want, you know?
I'll have to catch the replay. I miss pretty much everything because Kroger is the only store that doesn't let me have a headphone. Lol.
Yeah, you can catch the replay. I did have it up right here, Justin. So if you want to see, like, the whole, what we've been talking about, it's right up there. Yeah, obviously Star Fox is nowhere near a system seller like Ocarina. I mean, yeah, it's not even close. It's not even close. I think Star Fox Fleet would be a cool where your Fox troops do multiplayer missions. You can create your own troop. Okay, well, we'll see. I don't know if they're going to do all that, but we'll see. Look at what they did to Kid Icarus. People thought, man, too old. It's going to be a niche game on 3DS, and yet it became 1 million plus seller. Yeah, but it didn't sell enough, but I see what you're saying. Kid Icarus, the problem with Kid Icarus though was the controls, and also the problem with Kid Icarus was just Kid Icarus never even had the clout that Star Fox had. Kid Icarus was never as popular as Star Fox. Kid Icarus wasn't even close. The best-selling Kid Icarus game was like barely over 1 million. I think on the Game Boy or the NES, they sold like 1 million. Like Kid Icarus has never been a multi-million seller. Star Fox 64 sold like 4 or 5 million copies on the N64. You know, that was a big-time multi-million seller. Star Fox on the Super Nintendo was a big-time I think that sold like 3 million copies, 2 to 3 million copies on the Super Nintendo, which was really good for the Super Nintendo. Back then, with Star Fox, a brand new IP. So Star Fox and Star Fox 64 were always significantly more popular than Kid Icarus ever was. You know, so we also have to keep that in mind, okay? Keep that in mind. Yeah, 1.5 million tops for any Kid Icarus game, right? That's been the most. But Star Fox has sold over 4 million units on the 64. Like, that's been, like I said, a significant 4 times more popular than any Kid Icarus game. So I think that's the reason why we can't really put them in the same category, too, you know? How many video will you be uploading today based on Nate the Hate suggestion? That's a good question, Obi. I don't know about today because I don't have the time. I'm going to have to wrap this stream up in a bit. But I will be uploading some videos on... I might upload 2 to 3 videos. At least one. At least one, maybe more. When it comes to that. So yeah, I think I'll probably cut this stream and upload some videos for you guys, but we'll see. Yeah, I did see the YouTube, or I did hear about the YouTube short. And Kit says, I think Kit talked about how he's, about how Nintendo's not going to be happy about these leaks, when it comes to this stuff there. So, and that Nintendo needs to fix that. So I did hear about that, but yeah, I'll watch the full short later. Let's see. I mean, Star Fox 64 was a system seller. It's the top 10 best sellers for the system. At one point, it was as big as Zelda and Donkey Kong. Not quite as big as Zelda. Zelda sold a lot more on the 64. And I think on the Super Nintendo as well. But there was a time period that Star Fox was seen as a top tier, top of the line, you know, in the top 3 or 4 franchises for Nintendo. This was before Animal Crossing, right? So before Animal Crossing, before Wii Sports, this was even before Smash Brothers, right? This is before Smash Brothers. Star Fox was like, if you said what was the top 3 for Nintendo most popular at that time, so like 1997, it would have been Mario number 1, Zelda number 2, and probably Star Fox number 3. There was a time that Star Fox was in that third or fourth spot. I can't think of anything else on the 64 before Smash that would have taken that spot. So yeah, I mean, you're right. It was close to Mario. I mean, obviously not as big as Mario, but it was in the ballpark. It was not close to it, but it was in the ballpark. So yeah, I agree with you there, Dawson. Smash, Mario Kart, Pokemon, New Zelda, 3D Mario. I have like 7 games on the Switch one that I'm happy with. People, you enjoy other games. Yeah, exactly. It's good to enjoy other stuff. I mean, I'm happy that Star Fox is apparently coming. You know, I never thought that it would. But yeah. So there you go. But yeah, it's all good. But all right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up here. Are we gonna wrap it up here? I do appreciate that. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for coming out to the stream. I appreciate you guys being absolutely awesome. Check out my video that I already did on the PS5 price hikes if you want to know my opinion on that. And I'll be uploading a few more videos talking about all of Nate the Hate's stuff here on YouTube. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for being awesome. And yeah, it did outsell Majora's Mask. It did. So there was that. So thank you guys so much for being awesome. I appreciate it. And we'll see you guys for the next one. Thank you guys for the support too. I love you guys. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I'm going to get some videos going, and I'll see you guys for the next one.